Welcome to
the visual feedback.
So let's show you this. So this side we have the water side. We got like a cool little skull thing in there. There's just a styrofoam piece underneath it. We'll probably add some kind of like stone or gravel or something just to protect what we have in there. We don't know how styrofoam will decompose. If you have any ideas, let us know. We have this meshing that we got at Home Depot, kind of bent over, just to kind of hold everything in. We have cats, so we want to protect this stuff from our cats. This is our dirt side. I don't know if you can see it very well. Yeah, you can. Alright, so all right here is our stone bottom that we put in for drainage, as well as there's a little bit of crushed granite in here. Originally I had succulent plants in here, but I ended up taking them out just because we needed to raise the soil level to meet the water level. We don't yet have a pump in here. As you can see, there's two tubes there. There's one coming in and one going out. But we have yet to set it all up.
We're thinking about putting a beta in there for now, because we know they can survive in pretty murky water, so they'll be fine in there. There's the view from the top. Oh, that looks awesome. Little skull down there in the water. Water's looking nice and clear. At first it was a lot murkier because the dirt in there kind of sifted through, but now it's just gonna sit down there, and we're gonna build the fish tank filter in there using some charcoal and some of that floss stuff, and then we're gonna use a pond pump to pump the water from there over a waterfall, and that'll splash a lot and will get the frogs wet and keep them nice and humid and all that. And we might have to consider putting some sort of cover over one part of the tank to make it a little bit more humid in there, but that's for future stuff. So yeah, there's just a little update.
So this package is the cocoa husk that we're going to put on the top of our vivarium land side. You can probably hear the crickets. They're just right here. Living it up. They got some barley grass eaten in there. And then, so the cocoa husk you have to put in water, so I just have like one of those old window boxes things. Oops, got stuck. And we put some in here. It's obviously pretty damp and moist, so we're probably gonna like strain it out. And then lay it on top of just the surface here. Hopefully that'll look pretty nice and also provide a nice habitat for future animals. I'll let you take a look at the water here. Now, last video, you can probably tell there was no sediment here. This time there is. Now, my question is it coming from the styrofoam inlay that we have here? Or, because it's painted, so I don't know if that's the problem. Or, if you look underneath my soil, see that little bit of almost iron colored water. And the land's pretty wet on top. I think we're going to put the coconut husk on it today. It's still just sitting here ready to be used. We haven't gotten to it yet, but so be it. I wanted to show you this because it looks a little redonkulous, and I'm wondering if it's safe for our fish. But I guess we shall find out. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, so it's like day 5 after we've added this water to this tank here, and it's getting murky. Like, take a look at this. Not exactly sure if this tank setup's gonna work or if we're gonna have to totally scratch it, but get some better light on the situation here so you can see what I'm talking about. But there's the general idea. That is some murky water. That brown line down there is like silt from this soil over here, and we're wondering, you know, improper substrate. Should have had thicker layer of rocks for drainage, and obviously we're going to put a pump in there. We're not even thinking of using this tank until there's a pump ready to use. We're just setting this up. This is not for any animals yet. Once it's properly working and it's perfect and everything's right, the humidity, the temperature, everything, because we need to add heat lights and daylights and heating pads and all this stuff. So once we get all that, then we'll worry about getting some animals in here. But for right now, my main concern is just trying to get this water here to become clear. Nice, clear, clean water. And right now it is really gross looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a siphon to this thing and hopefully hopefully the siphon will siphon some of that dirt out of there, and hopefully it doesn't return as bad. And on top of that, we're getting the pump eventually. We've ordered it, it's online, you know how it is. We thought it's been close to when it should arrive, but hey, you know, whenever it gets here, it gets here. So yeah, just an update. Well, as you can see now, we don't have water inside the tank anymore. I had to remove the water last night because there was no way it was going to get any less murky than it was. So we've decided to do a closed tank system rather than an open sort of system where the dry side stays dry and the wet side stays wet. We'll water the wet side on our, or the dry side I should say, periodically. We can just throw a little bit of water in there to keep it moist, and we'll keep the water in there as another moisture area. So if we have something like frogs in there in the future, they can go in the water to get wet. They'll be splashing water because we've got a little pump now. So we've got a hosta growing in there, it's doing well, and what our plan is we're going to silicone off this area. I bought silicone today. We're going to use some plastic here, silicone it right up, make sure it's watertight. Then we can just put water in there so we don't have water from one side mixing with water from the other side, which could lead to runoff problems, so we don't want that. So that's the plan for right now. We got this little fish pump that's I've got over here. I'm just testing it in here. I'm not going to put anything in here with it. I just wanted to see how it worked, how it runs, and you can probably tell it's almost silent. I can hear my other fish pump that's in the corner. I can hear that running more than I can hear this little pump running, so it's pretty quiet, which is pretty cool. But so it's going to go in that big tank, and it's going to filter the water from the wet side. We're going to filter that water through there and keep it on the wet side in a closed system. So we're going to throw beta in there once we have that set up, and we'll see how that goes. And then from there we can put a beta somewhere else, and then we can see how other things survive in there, and we can kind of keep stepping it up until we get to our end result, which is something like a frog or something more advanced than just a fish in there. Okay, so that's the update for today. Things didn't go well last night, but hopefully they'll improve.